Welcome back to Pre-Reading Success Strategies. I'm Natalie Zacher, speech-language pathologist. This week's strategy is all about rhyming words. Now, you probably already have a number of books in your house that contain rhyming words, simply because many children's books contain rhyming pairs. But what you may not be aware of is just how important those rhyming words are to later reading success. And to illustrate this point, I'd like to tell you about a study that was conducted in the 80s in Britain, and it involved 20,000 children. And the researchers were looking for what skills were important for later reading success. And what they found was that children who had knowledge of nursery rhymes by the age of 3 to 3.5 went on to develop more abstract emergent reading skills. And these findings were despite the child's IQ level, or the parent's education level, or even the family's socioeconomic status. So when you can find something that can transcend those kinds of factors, then you know that it's really important. So that's why we're going to spend some time on nursery rhymes and rhyming words in general today. So you may be wondering why nursery rhymes are so important as opposed to just, say, reading lots of books that contain rhyming pairs. And that's a good question. And it has something to do with the fact that when you have a book that has lots of rhymes in it, children will read those books with their parents, and they listen to the books, and some kids will even get to the stage where they are rehearsing the books because they've memorized them, but it's usually just within the context of looking at that book. With a nursery rhyme it's more poetry. Okay, so nursery rhymes are basically a form of poetry, and they can be recited, and kids pick up and learn these nursery rhymes and recite them. So they get more practice with nursery rhymes that are heavily loaded with rhyming words. They get lots of practice saying those rhyming words and learning how it feels basically internally to say those rhyming words. And what is happening while they're saying a lot of these rhyming words within the context of these nursery rhymes is their brains are working on figuring out what makes these words rhyme. What are the rules that make rhyming pairs what they are? So what makes like hat and cat rhyme, but not hat and ham, for instance. So their brains are working that out, and their brains can do that better if they're not just passively listening to nursery rhymes, but they're actually speaking them out loud and reciting them. So with books, they're not going to get quite as much practice as they would with the nursery rhymes. Anytime you can get active participation, you're going to get more learning. Next, what I'd like to do is explain where rhyming fits on our model of reading development. So here I am back with my diagram of reading instruction components, and I'd like to point out where rhyming fits in. And it is considered a phonemic awareness skill. So, like I said before, phonemic awareness is the ability to understand that words are made up of sounds, and those sounds can be manipulated around to make new words. And I'm going to just demonstrate how that works with rhyming words. So I'm going to put up a new sheet of paper, and then I'll be back with the demo. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a quick explanation of what I mean by rhyming words being part of a phonemic awareness skill. And remember that phonemic awareness is the ability to manipulate sounds around within words to create different words. So what I've got here's a little grouping of 4 rhyming words. And so what we've done here, what you have to do to create rhyming words is to be able to change the sounds in the beginning of the word. And this explanation that I'm giving you today is by no means an exhaustive explanation of what constitutes all rhyming words, but for our purposes today and for the purposes of the pre-reading crowd, this is quite sufficient. So what we've got to do here is we've got to take off beginning sounds in front of the vowel and put in new sounds to generate new words. So we're taking off the k sound or the C letter, putting on the sound spelled with the H to get hat from cat, taking off the H, putting on the M to get mat, taking off the M, putting on S to get sat, and you could keep going with R for rat, B for bat, L for lat, which isn't a real word, but you know, kids will go through that stage where they'll make up funny words or made up words, or I call them alien words, and that's great. It's all part of their brains figuring out the rules for what constitutes a rhyming word. And it can also be done with multisyllabic words, even with young kids, kindergarten, 4 years old, starting with, say, teacher, taking off the t sound, the T in front of the vowel, putting on the PR, so you can put on more than one sound. Preacher, you could put on another one, feature. Creature, so CR, blend, or they're called consonant clusters, so two consonants together. Also, R is fine in front of the vowel. So you can again generate a list of rhyming words there. And kids also can go through stages, so they don't always get the whole rhyming, all their internal rules for what constitutes a rhyming word right off the bat. So up here, for instance, I've got an example of what can happen. So if we start with the word Sam, a child might generate the word cam, which is great because they've taken off the S, put on the C, and then they might try and find a word that rhymes with cam, and they may come up with can, at least in the beginning. Because their brains are still working on what those internal rules are, and in this instance they haven't quite figured out that it's the beginning sound that they need to change and not the end sound here from the M to the N, which is what they did. So the M and the N do share some acoustic qualities and places of where they're made in the mouth. It's not the important distinction or the important rule that they need to get in order to generate a rhyming word. So cam and can, yeah, they sound similar, but not quite it, because we got to change the beginning sound. And when kids are at an age where they know about their letters of the alphabet, you can show them. You know, Sam and Cam rhyme because we took off this with this letter and put on this letter, took off the S, put on the C, but Cam and Can don't rhyme because we didn't take off the first sound, we took off the last sound. So it doesn't follow the rules, so we can't count it. And you know, kids will eventually get that. They'll internalize those rules, and as that develops, their refinement of what makes rhyming words and what doesn't make rhyming words will get better and better as they get more and more exposure. So because knowledge of nursery rhymes was found to be so critical in the later development of emergent reading skills, I've left a number of suggestions in the PDF file for this week on ways that you can incorporate nursery rhymes into your daily routine a little bit more. So what I'm going to do now is demonstrate a couple of activities that you can do with children to help strengthen their knowledge of nursery rhymes. The first one involves reading those rhyming books with a similar cadence and lyricism as you would a nursery rhyme. And I've asked my older son Kieran to help us with this demonstration. First, he is going to read the story When Animals Dream by Anna Denish to my niece Tara. Those are his only instructions. Then I'm going to read the story, and I'm going to take advantage of the lyrical nature of the text to create a more nursery rhyme-like delivery. Okay? Let's have a listen.
Some dogs right next door dream of catching a fox while they slide across the grass wearing fuzzy warm socks. And that's what I see when I see dogs dream. Across the green grass, pigs oink from their snouts. They dream of going to class and causing trouble, no doubt. And that's what I see when I see pigs dream.
Some dogs right next door dream of catching a fox while they slide across the grass wearing fuzzy warm socks. And that's what I see when I see dogs dream. Across the green grass, pigs oink from their snouts. They dream of going to class and causing trouble, no doubt. And that's what I see when I see pigs dream. Did you notice how the rhyming words were highlighted so much more effectively with my delivery and how much more pleasing it sounded? that's what you're aiming for with rhyming books. And so if you have a new book that you're not familiar with, I would suggest going through it yourself before reading it with your child, seeing if there are rhyming pairs in the book, and seeing if you can make the delivery more lyrical and with more of a cadence like a nursery rhyme, and maybe practice it a couple of times before you read it with your child. So now I'm going to demonstrate a technique or an activity that you can use with older children, and it involves changing the rhyming words within the story of a book. And it's going to be a lot like the little demonstration that I did here, but within the context of a story, so it'll be a lot more interesting and a lot more fun with them. So with my niece, what we're going to do is we're going to change some of the rhyming words within the story When Animals Dream, and then we're going to read our new story, the one that is a product of all these changes that we've made. Now, what this activity will do is it will help kids see that what you're doing is you're changing just the first sound, because what I'm going to do is take little tiny sticky note pieces of paper. I've cut them up to just cover up the first, the sounds in the letters in front of the first vowel, and we're going to write in our new sound, our new letter sound in front. And so what it's going to help Tara see is that in order to make a new rhyming word, it's the sounds in front of the vowel that are changed and not the end ones. And it can also help them see that if they make an error like this, like when I demonstrate the cam to cam, what you can do is you can show them in going from cam to cam that it's the last sound that is changed, and that's why it's not a rhyming word, because it's not the first one that's changed. And so when they get to see that print output of the words, they're going to be able to have a little bit more information about what makes rhyming words, and that will, go into their database in their head into their their rule book in their head about what makes a rhyming word, or what makes words rhyme, rather. So let's just watch this demonstration with my niece Tara. Start. All right, so let's see if we can change some rhyming words on this page. So I'll read it, and then we'll find the rhyming words, all right? Yeah? Okay, ready? There are hundreds of ants living in a tiny ant hill. They dream of tall roller coasters and catching quite a thrill. That's what I see when I see ants dream. What? Thrill,
Hill.
And hill. Yeah, okay. So let's think of some words that rhyme with thrill and hill. Thrill, hill, bill, mill, kill, dill, pill, bill. Which one do you want to use? Kill, dill, mill. Mill?
It's mill.
Mill? Okay, we only use mill. Do you know what a mill is? No? It's where farmers take their wheat to get it crushed into flour. Yeah. All right, so how can we say this? There are hundreds of ants living
In a tiny mill.
Living in a tiny mill?
Living in a mill.
Living in a mill. Okay. So we'll cover up tiny. Living in a. So hill, mill. We have to take away the H and put in an M. Okay, do you want to spell it? You want to write it out? M, I, L, L. Great. Okay, so now we'll read our new. Oh, that's right, a period. Yeah. There are hundreds of ants living in a mill. They dream of tall roller coasters and catching quite a thrill. That's what I see when I see ants dream. Does that work? It works really well. That's right. Okay, and we were also going to do this one, weren't we? As the morning sun comes bringing the day, the animals wake all ready to play. So
and
day and play. And so now we have to find something that rhymes with day and play. Day, play, bay, hay, may, nay, ballet, ballet. You want to use ballet? Okay, so well, let's see. As the morning sun comes bringing the day, the animals wake to do ballet, or ready to dance ballet.
Ready to do it.
Ready?
But let's see.
Okay. As the morning sun comes bringing the day, the animals wake, ready to dance ballet, or ready to do ballet? Which one?
Dance.
Ready to dance ballet? Okay. Ready to dance?
Dance. That's what
Dance. You tell me. D, yeah. Dan.
A.
Mm-hmm. Dan.
And
Mm-hmm. Dance. Yeah, that's the S sound, but in this word, yeah, we spell it with the C in this word, and then an E at the end. That's better. Good. And now we need the word ballet.
ballet. Long one.
Yeah, what do you think we start with?
B.
Mhm.
Lowercase.
A lowercase b, that's right, because we're not at the beginning of a sentence.
At the beginning of a sentence, you put
Yeah.
case.
Ballet.
A.
A. Mm-hmm. Bal.
L.
L. And we need two of them.
L.
That's right. Now, ballet. So normally, see, day ballet, we would go AY, but because ballet is not an English word, we borrowed it from another language, we spell it a bit differently. We spell it with an E and a T.
So E.
Yeah, that's right. Great, and now it's the end of a sentence. Period. There. Okay, so now we can read it.
Two dance.
Okay, good. As the morning sun comes bringing the day, the animals wake, all ready to dance ballet. You like that one? Yeah, me too. High five. Oh, good one. Here we go. All right. Good stuff. And still. So we had a lot of fun with that activity, and we even got to see how the spelling changed with some of the words. And that I could do that with her because she was a little bit older. You may not want to if you're doing this with a child who is younger, or like who still enjoys changing the sounds around, but maybe not interested in the spelling portion of it yet. But again, because my niece is older and she's starting to learn about print in school, it was appropriate to do with her. So I encourage you to try this strategy out this week. And some of the other suggestions that I have written for you in the text portion. Please let me know how things go, or if you have other favorite activities that you guys like to do at home around rhyming words, I'd love to hear about them. I'm always looking for new activities to put in my toolbox, so to speak. So please have fun with these strategies this week and these activities, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.